Right. Today, our discussion about electronics, basic circuit, power supplies, transistors, and cable impedance. So here we'll not about try to do about common electronics class things like RLC filters and about analysis. But here we try to set out basic relations, look at a few examples of fundamental importance, diodes, voltage regulation, transistors, and some impedance issues. Then the basic relations, V is called voltage, the unit is volts, capital V, and I is current, amperes, capital A. Then R is resistance, ohms, ohm sign. Then C is capacitance, farads, F, and L is the inductance, henries, capital H. Then Ohm's law, V equals IR, and we convert that one into V equals L dL over dt. Then power P equals VI, it equals V square over R, I square R, resistors and inductors in series, capacitance in parallel, then resistors and inductors in parallel, and capacitors in series. So those are the basic relations. So first of all, we can discuss a simple example about a voltage divider. Voltage dividers are a classic way to set a voltage. So here you can see two resistors, R1 and R2. So before getting into this circuit, we can apply our Ohm's law for a simple circuit. Ohm's law states that V equals IR. V means the voltage difference, and I is the current through that, and R is the resistance. So if you get this R1, then you can find the current through this one using V equals IR. And again, now you have two resistors, then you can find the equivalent resistors on this, because this is a series connection. Then equivalent resistance equals R1 plus R2. Then again you can find the total current through that by using V equals IR. So works on the principle that all charge flowing through the first resistor goes through the second. That is how we identify these two are in series. So delta V is relative to R value, what is get by our Ohm's law. When provide any load at output is negligible, otherwise some current goes there too. So V out equals V R2 over R1 plus R2, that is the voltage divider equation what we are using. So R2 here is a variable resistor or potentiometer. Then typically three terminals. Here you can see 1, 2, 3. But if this one is a variable resistor, then there should be another actual terminal which we can pass this current through the size of the resistivity. Then R1, 2 is fixed, this one. Tap slides along vary with 1, 3, because tapping, if you tapping from 1, 2, 3 like that, then resistivity increase. So R13 plus R23 equals R12 total. That is how, because R13 plus R23 both equal to R12 total R2. That is how voltage divider works if you have a variable resistor, right? So without a variable resistor, you can use this equation, R2 over R1 plus R2, like that you can divide that. That is why we call it voltage divider. Then real batteries, we have output impedances, right? Example, 6 ampere out of 1.5 battery indicates 0.25 ohm output impedance. So due to internal resistivity and all that, there you have impedance of 0.25. So a power supply is characterized by voltage capital V and an output impedance capital R, and sometimes called source impedance. So going up a load, that total resistivity of the load, we form a voltage divider as previous one, so that the voltage applied by the battery terminal is actually V out equals V into R load divided by R plus R load, that is how voltage divider works, because here you can't see another kind of impedance, but we already included here in the battery, so you have to use it as well. R load is this one, and again capital R. Thus the smaller R is the stiffer the power supply when we out sags with higher load current, so we call this drop. Example, if 10 volts power supply drops by 1%, that means 0.1. When load is to 1 ampere, 10 omega load is applied. Internal resistance is 0.1 ohm due to this 0.1, because 1% drops. So called output impedance or source impedance, so may vary with load, though not a real resistor, right? Because there are some kind of deviations if you do not have a real resistor. Then power supplies and regulation. A power supply typically start with a transformer to knock down the 340 volt peak to peak 120 of alternating current to something reasonable, or what we call manageable. So you'll be using a center tap transformer. Center tap means here you have a tapping on the coil middle point, that is called center tapping. So A dash minus B dash, these two equals winding ratio of this one output side into A minus B, and this one. This is called center tapping. When A is higher than B, so A dash also higher than B. Geometrically of center tapping CT guarantees it is midway between A dash and B dash. Frequently tie this to ground so that A dash equal minus B dash, because if this one grounded, then you have a difference in between. Then if you have 10 volts difference between that, then if you ground this one, you have 0 to 5, then this one should be minus B dash. Note that secondary side floats, no ground reference built in. Then diodes are essentially one-way current gates. You know what is called a gate. And again you have diodes. So diodes basically make by using semiconductors. This is the symbol with a small triangle and a small line. Then current versus voltage graph. There are several current versus voltage graph for diodes. This one is for forward bias. Then again you have that means forward bias and backward bias. Then plain resistors, you have this one, this kind of line and diode. Then you have idealized diode and a real diode, both. So acts just like a wire, will support arbitrary current provided that voltage is positive. Right? That is what idealized diode, it is some way behind that. So no current flows. Then again you have a backward bias. So if you have forward bias, then current flows. The direction, the arrow points in the diode symbol is the direction that current will flow. So forward bias mean this is the positive side and this is the negative side. If the positive side connects to the power source positive side, then it is called forward bias. Then if there is a connection other way around, that means the positive side of the battery connects to negative side of the diode, that is called backward bias. So if the backward bias is there, then there is no current flow. Only forward bias diodes are conducting the currents. Then diode makeup. So diodes are made of semiconductors, usually silicon, germanium, or like that you can use. So essentially a stack of p-doped and n-doped silicon to form a p-n junction. Then doping means deliberate impurities that contribute extra electrons, n-dope, or holes for electrons, p-dope. Then you have both n-dope and p-dope. Then p-type and n-type semiconductors. Semiconductors. Then you can have both p-n junction, right? So p-n junction, that is the difference of P and this the